Live from Sin City, it's the Socks and Pinstripes Podcast. And now, here's the star of the show, Giant Dr. Griffin!
This is Giant Dr. Griffin, back with another episode of the Socks and Pinstripes Podcast. I am a little under the weather today, so I took a sick day. How are you doing, Shane?
No, I'm not under the weather. I did not take a sick day.
No. This is like the first time I've been sick in over a year, so
Oh, wow.
pretty happy. I can't really complain too much. And it's a Friday, so I get like the whole weekend to get better.
Yeah.
So realistically, I'm only missing one workout over like a 5-day period, which is not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Unfortunately, MLB hasn't really gotten the memo because things have been really, really, really slow lately. And there've been very minimal signings and activities this week. But we're gonna try to make enough material for the show here.
Yay.
And we'll start with a PED suspension of all things this week.
Oh, really?
Because Max Kepler, formerly of the Philadelphia Phillies, who is a current free agent, has been suspended for 80 games for steroids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this just broke today. So I don't know what his value is going to be. It could be scuttled pretty good here.
Yeah.
He's
Is he a free agent too, or?
Yes, he is a free agent. Somehow
okay.
he didn't get the Profar treatment, where Profar somehow tested positive during the offseason and then they didn't find out about it till April, and he'd already started playing games.
Yeah, that would have been great for him. So
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen to Kepler now. I think his value is in the toilet at the moment.
yeah, he didn't really have that great of a year either. So it's
No, he
probably
didn't.
even more in the toilet. So
Well, speaking of guys in the toilet, Michael Lorenzen signed a deal with the Colorado Rockies. Where pitchers go to die.
yay! Bye, Michael. See you never.
Yeah. He's getting $8 million to go play for the Rockies in a 1 year.
Oh, maybe he'll be pitching in June when I go see my aunt. That would be great. That'd be pretty cool.
It's possible. Lorenzen's a guy who gets traded constantly, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe that if he's pitching even halfway decently outside of course, they may just opt to move him somewhere and get some value.
Yeah, that checks out.
Now, with that signing, the Boston Red Sox are now the only team so far to not make a free agent signing.
The Red Sox are?
Yep, they're the only team that have not signed a free agent yet.
Oh, a free agent. They've made some trades though.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I know. But it's that kind of interesting statistic because you got like the Red Sox nation. They're all like, we haven't done anything, blah, 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 blah. And and like you still went out and you got Sonny Gray and you got Wilson Contreras.
Yeah,
William Contreras, one of the two. I think Wilson's the older brother, right?
Yeah, they got the catcher, right?
Well, they're both catchers, so that's half the problem.
Oh yeah, they got the one from the
Cardinals, yeah.
The Cardinals, yeah. So Wilson, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sonny Gray is going to at least be an upper 3 pitcher in that rotation of theirs. So he could be the number 2, he might be the number 3, depending on if they make any more moves. So they have done stuff. Let's not say they haven't done anything.
They're looking pretty good. I thought the Cubs made the best move for a pitcher, but
yeah, the Cubs went out and got Edward Cabrera this week from the Marlins.
Yeah, I know he had a down year, but it was his first year after Tommy John, and that kid's upside is like through the roof.
The fantasy nerds refer to him as a Charizard.
Yeah, I would agree. Honestly, 100%.
For those who don't know the reference, Charizard is basically like a fire-breathing dragon Pokemon, and the whole gimmick of the show is that he would constantly just like not listen to Ash, but then he would sometimes be like the strongest guy on his team.
Yeah.
It was like super unpredictable. He'd be really good, or he would just like, and it was like one of the gimmicks on the show is he would just like constantly burn Ash like to a crisp kind of thing to set him on fire, very much like the
Right.
Looney Tunes cartoon.
I always loved I always thought that Charmander and Pikachu had the best because Charmander was Charmander.
Yeah.
And then it was Charizard.
Yeah, Charizard's pretty cool. He was like always one of Ash's Pokemon, apparently. I didn't watch the series all that much outside like the first.
One of the original cards, the original sparkly cards, I forget what they are called, of Charizard sold for like $1 million. If I would have kept mine, I would have $1 million right now. Because
Wow.
I had a
Oh,
foil Charizard card.
oh man.
From when they
Brutal.
first like I when they first when Pokemon cards were hot, like I spent my allowance money on Pokemon cards, so I had quite a few. So if I would have just held on to them, it would have been
Man,
a
time
great
machine.
idea. So
Shane's got to go tell past Shane to keep that Charizard card.
I mean, I should ask my mom. They might be in the attic somewhere. Watch, like when my parents
Oh,
die,
dude.
hopefully.
Oh, man. Okay, ask. Go ask if she still got it. Maybe. Dude,
Yeah.
it's worth an ask if it's worth that much.
Hopefully, no time soon do they die, but maybe I'll just let it appreciate for another 20 years. So,
I don't know, man. If you can get a cool million for it, that's, I think, a good enough price
yeah,
to
right. Yeah.
pull it out of
But,
storage if you can find it. I thought you had
yeah,
like given it to somebody or sold the card a
I
while ago
might,
just for
I mean,
stuff.
the thing is I might have given them away because we've moved a couple of times, but
Oh,
they honestly might still be in my mother, I think, still has a bunch of our stuff, like probably still has Legos somewhere, but she kept a lot of scrapbooks. And I wonder if my cards, like baseball cards and regular cards, are in there because I had like a book, like a card book, like a scrapbook that I kept all the cards in. So that's something to think about.
I just want you to know, as of these comments, I am requesting a very modest finder's fee if you are able to find the Charizard card and sell it for a significant profit. Doesn't
Yeah,
have
I'd
to be
probably
a huge
work you in
amount, but
for
if
like 2%, or we can discuss later. So
we can discuss later if you are able to obtain possession of the card.
yeah,
But we'll keep that out there.
yeah,
We also found out where Kazuma Okamoto signed, and he
yeah, yeah,
got
right.
a 4 year, $60 million deal with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Blue Jays are going to be good next year.
Yeah, although it's looking increasingly likely that Bo Bichette is not going to be returning to the team.
And my only reason why I say that doesn't matter is not that because he's not a great player, but they did it most of the year without him last year. So,
Yeah, yeah, I
so
think that.
as long as the person who takes over the job is net neutral, they should be better than last year.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about Bo Bichette later because that's part of my rundown here. We're going to go over some of the remaining free agents and start to speculate where some of those guys might go because there are still a lot of players that are still out there, some quality guys. One
Okay.
small signing that happened a little while ago was that Ryan Stanek, who is a reliever. I believe he one time was he with the Mariners last year or previous years?
Yeah, he was with the Mariners 2 years ago or last year, and they got traded to the Astros.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So
Anyway,
I
he
want to say
signed.
he was with the Mariners not this last year, but the year before, because I think he got traded in the offseason. Because I don't think the Mariners would trade a reliever to a division rival mid-season.
Well, didn't
So
they do that weird trade where they made that trade with the Astros in like the middle of a series and they basically just changed dugouts? Could have sworn they did that.
uh, they might have done that.
I feel like Rafael Ontero or something might have been the guy involved with that one.
Yeah,
Um,
I forget. All I know is
I'll have to look that up. I don't
I don't
remember.
think either of us really won on that. I think it's pretty lateral all the way around. So
Well, one of the interesting things that happened this week was you got to reach the salary arbitration deadline. So in a baseball context, you can get in most cases salary arbitration for the final 3 years of a player. So you got 3 years at team control, and then you have typically 3 years in arbitration, sometimes four if you're what's called a super two. But just for the sake of this example, the last 3 years of the deal are basically an arbitration number. So the team and the player typically come up with the amounts that they think they should be paid, and they typically come to an accord and they come to an agreed upon amount. But sometimes there are just wide disagreements between what the player and the team thinks that they're worth. So they have this deadline, and then they set their amounts, and then they can kind of still talk a little bit before the arbitration, but typically they go to arbitration with these numbers in mind. So the big one that happened, the biggest one, I would say, is Tarik Skubal. And he is requesting $32 million, and the Tigers want to pay him $19 million.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Tigers are so low on that. He's the Cy Young winner, right?
Back-to-back Cy Young winner.
Yeah, and like the going rate for good starting pitching is like 25 a year, if I'm not mistaken. So
Good starting pitching, like mid
yeah,
kind of mid-range starting pitching. Like an elite starting pitcher is making well over 35.
yeah.
Like
So
last year, Zach Wheeler signed extension with the Phillies for over 42 a season.
yeah, so I'm confused at Detroit's number. And if I were Skubal, honestly, I might be like a little offended. So
Yeah,
I mean, I
I'm
get that they're trying to like maybe have the arbitrator bring the number down like way low, but bringing the number down way low would have been like 25. So
yeah. Well, I believe last year there was I'm sorry, 2024, excuse me, a couple years ago. The Tigers actually had to go an arbitration hearing with a player named Casey Mize, who's a pitcher there.
yeah,
You want to guess what the spread on that contract was? The difference between what the Tigers wanted and what the player wanted, and what they
a,
went to
tr
arbitration.
a
I don't know
trillion dollars.
the spread was $25,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They were that close, $25,000, and they had to go to salary arbitration.
Wow, that seems ridiculous. Who won out of that? The team or the player?
I have to Google that because
Or they just split the difference at like 12 and a half,
well, I think you have
honestly.
to take one or the other. That's kind of how it works. They don't really split.
Uh,
They don't really come in the
Gotcha.
middle.
Oh, well, then I would think they would have to take Scooby Doo's because that's a deal then.
Yeah, I have to think. I
Is
have to
Scooby Doo a
think that.
Boris Johnson client?
I'm sorry. He is a Scott. He is a Scott Boras client. Yeah.
Okay, Scott Boris, sorry. I don't know why I always want to call him Boris Johnson, but I do. So,
Yeah, you're thinking of somebody else.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look a little deeper here about the Mize one because I'm getting all the current news with the. I'll keep looking and we'll keep
Yeah.
talking here.
We can table it for next week too, if worse comes to worse. So,
Okay, all right. I just found it. They apparently agreed to settle their differences at 800. That was 815 is what the Tigers wanted. 814,015,000. The
okay.
Mize wanted 840. They ended up settling for 830.
No, all right. So more towards Mize, but still pretty much in the middle.
I mean, geez, you're like haggling over $15,000 when you're paying Javi Baez like 22 to
Right.
be a statue on your lineup.
Yeah. I know he went from swinging at everything to swinging at nothing. So,
I think it was interesting though that all of the Japanese players, when we circle back to Okamoto for a second, all of them seem to get lower values than what everybody projected going in. And I
yeah,
wonder if that's because of the fact that there was a strict deadline to sign these players. When you post a player, you have a 45-day window to sign a contract. And all of
yeah,
the players signed at the very, very end of it. And now that those guys had a tight window to sign. Whereas you got guys like Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette and Alex Bregman that are still sitting out there not having that rush to sign, and I wonder if that had something to do with the suppression of the value of the Japanese players that came over this year.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's
I mean,
about
what
as good.
happens if they don't sign? They just go back to Japan, right? So,
Yeah, and they make a lot
yeah,
less for sure.
yeah, yeah. So you got to think like from that standpoint, if you do want to get someone for cheap, then waiting towards the end is probably your best option to get the best deal if you're the team. So from a business point of view.
All right, so let's circle back to some of the guys that haven't signed a deal yet. And oh, one more quick note before we do that. Apparently, the Diamondbacks are not going to be trading Ketel Marte, at least right now.
Makes
They've
sense. I
made
mean, that
this very
guy, you need to have a really strong head coach because he's going to destroy your lot. He's a great player. He'll destroy your locker room though. So if you don't know how to deal with him.
I think part of the reason they kept him is because he has a very team-friendly contract,
Yeah.
and they probably weren't getting enough in return on the potential deals for him.
Yeah, probably not. So, because
So
again, like you're rolling the dice with how the locker room's going to go with that guy. So,
yeah. So let's take a look at some of the remaining free agents. I'm pulling up an article on MLB.com with their list of the top 30 free agents for this season, and we'll start going through some of the names that have not signed deals yet, and we'll kind of talk briefly about them and what we think they might be doing, where they could be going, and so on and so forth. So let's start with the big boy, Kyle Tucker.
oh yeah.
He is the top free agent remaining, and his market kind of been relatively quiet for somebody who's the biggest fish out there.
Yeah, who needs outfielders? I mean, I guess Mariners could take one, but I
I
don't know
mean,
if we're going to spend
tons of
that kind of
people could
money.
use
So,
outfielders.
yeah.
Tons of people could use them. I mean, I've heard rumblings about the Blue Jays going after Tucker still.
Oh man, can you imagine if they had Tucker on that already great lineup? That'd be insane.
And they're hoping for a big season out of their last year's acquisition of Antonio Santander, too. He was like a
Oh yeah,
non-factor,
we're
but he
still
was hurt.
still waiting for him to do good. Yeah.
They're saying that he's healthy and looking like himself again. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Maybe Gozman and Bassett and Savage can be injured if we play them in the playoffs because man, do the Mariners like to swing at splitters.
It's gonna be hard. I can't. I wonder how much more money that the Mariners, the Blue Jays have to spend. They've gone out and done a lot this offseason. They went out and
Yeah.
got Dylan Cease, and they went out and got Okamoto. Now I know they're
Yeah,
gonna
I
let
mean
go of
they
Bichette, but
yeah, I think they really I think they're being smart and doing what you should do, which is you make it to the World Series, you lose, you go big the next year and see what happens and like pay the luxury tax if you have to. And if you don't get it, then reassess. I mean, that's what I would do if I'm the owner. So,
yeah,
and you're going to have your ticket sales are going to be through the roof during the slow time because you went so far. Like I remember the Mariners, I'm like preparing myself for it to be super expensive this year for the start too.
yeah,
But the one year when we just made the playoffs and lost in the first round, and that's all we did, it was like you couldn't get a ticket for under $40 for like the first 2 months. I'm like, since when in May do I have to pay $40 for a baseball ticket? So
yeah. But I think a lot of teams. I've kept thinking that the Dodgers were going to go after Kyle Tucker, and I still think they can do it if they want to. But it's going
yeah.
to be fun to see where he ends up going.
Yeah, I mean they could three-peat and I don't know. I guess you could play Kyle Tucker over, move Teoscar to left field so he doesn't have to touch the ball that much, and then put Kyle in right. So
Yeah, I mean they were trotting out like Michael Conforto last year to play left field for the Dodgers.
yeah,
Paid
yeah,
him like 17
yeah. Now
million
you could
dollars.
keep Teoscar's bat and take him out of the defense, which is kind of what he needs to be.
Yeah,
So
like one of the few weaknesses of that team.
yeah,
So the next free agent on the list is Alex Bregman, and I still keep hearing a lot that the Red Sox are heavily invested in trying to bring him back.
Yeah, reunited and it feels so good.
I've seen reports of like a 6 year deal in the 150 to 180 range for Bregman, which is I think kind of what the Tigers had offered him last year that he turned down.
Really? Because I think that's probably going to be his best shot. Like, you think he's going to get any more than he's also a
He's on the wrong
Scott.
side of 30 now and a Boris
He's
client.
also a Scott Boris client. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think that's getting 6 years at 150 for him. I think that's great. You got probably 1 or 2 good years left. You could be a DH somewhere, or they
You
can
can
move you to
slide
the
to first
outfield.
base, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, play first base for 4 years if you want. So,
Yeah. I still think the Red Sox are probably going to keep him. That's the feeling I get.
I'll bring him back.
Yeah, I think he's going to come back. I
He's
just think
on
they're going to.
the cheat throws right now, right?
No, he was with the Red Sox last year.
Oh, okay.
He signed with the Red Sox and then opted out.
Oh, right.
So I get
Okay.
the feeling the Red Sox are gonna settle on a deal with him. That's my hunch.
Well, and especially since the Red Sox showed that they wanted to go out and win too. That's big for players as well.
Yeah,
They didn't just like sit and do nothing. You
yeah.
get a healthy Roman Anthony for the whole entire year.
Oh man, that guy
Um,
could be phenomenal.
yeah. I mean, you guys could have a pretty good chance at being top of the AL East this year. So other than the Blue Jays would probably be your biggest competition, unless the Yankees
Yeah,
do something. So
and getting Sonny Gray helps shore up that rotation, which was one of their major weaknesses last year.
yeah,
They basically had nobody to help out Garrett Crochet at the top.
yeah, and he pitched really well. So
Yes, he did. He was amazing. The next player down is the number 4 player. We have Bo Bichette. And
Bobo.
I've been hearing more about him playing a different position than shortstop, possibly moving to second base or third base.
Dude, if he wants to move to second, we'll take you on the Mariners. So
Yeah.
we're not above that. So
I've been hearing a lot of rumors about him and the Phillies, and him
uh,
basically
that
playing
that
third
would be
base.
great to see him in a Phillies uniform.
Yeah, because I mean, he's not going to play short because you have Trey Turner there, and then Bryson Stott has kind of got second covered.
Yeah, they've been so close for so long, Philly. It'd be
Yeah.
nice to see, as much as I want the Mariners to win one next year, it would be nice to see Philly get one because I really think Schwarber already has one, but I really want Bryce Harper to get a ring. So
Yeah, they've been always a bridesmaid, ever a bride for the past few years.
yeah, and they've had the really good pitching, they've had the really good closing, and for whatever reason, and Bryce Harper included in this, they don't come through in the clutch when they're at the plate. For whatever reason, they just can't get that one hit to get them the win.
Well, there's a
Um,
couple more Phillies on the list, so we'll circle back to that
okay,
in a little bit when
yeah,
we get
all
down
right,
to them. The next player on the list is Cody Bellinger, another Scott Boras client, and
yeah. Keep him in New
he
York. That's the only place
he
he
has
plays good.
been
So
apparently asking for like upwards of $37 million a year over 6 to 7 years.
yeah, nope, no, thank
And
you.
no, I totally agree there.
Yeah,
I'm
if someone wants
skeptical.
to pay for that, congratulations, good luck. You just paid for a diamond and you got a brick. So
I believe he made $25 million last year, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
And
that's what he deserves this year. If he wants 25 for six, maybe I would talk to him about that.
well, no, I hadn't even finished my sentence yet. And the
Oh, sorry.
Cubbies paid $5 million to get rid of him.
Yeah. So
The Dodgers also non-tendered Cody Bellinger when he was making like 18 expected.
yeah, yeah. There's no way he's getting 37.
Yeah, I don't
And the
believe.
Yankees aren't going to pay him 37. So
No,
yeah,
especially now that they're stuck having to pay Trent Grisham on that deal. That is going to cost them so much.
yeah.
They were in on Cabrera too, and they didn't pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah.
The next player down, and I got to go down a little bit here. Another Philly, Ranger Suarez.
Ranger. I would try to keep him.
I would too. I would too. I'm not sure. And but at this point, he would probably be like a 5 in that rotation because it's so deep.
Yeah, he could come be a 5 on the Mariners rotation. We need a lefty starter. So.
Yeah. And the thing is that like they're still paying Taiwan Walker.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I think they're paying him like in the 16 to 18 million dollars a year to basically just not be in the rotation because he's so bad.
Yeah, the Mariners really, that's the thing. Whenever people take pitching from the Mariners, I'm just like, ooh, man, you're really risking getting a really bad deal. Because if there's the only thing we do super well is pitching and defense here. And if the Mariners see something in a pitcher and want to trade them, generally does not trend well for that person. So,
Yeah. Yeah, Phillies need to kind of keep some of their guys. Or they could maybe consider upgrading to Framber Valdez, our next free
oh,
agent.
yeah, I forgot that I thought he would have been the biggest free agent because, I mean, I know Kyle Tucker's a big name, and I know that Framber's not a big name, but he should be as
He
far
might
as
be the
like,
biggest pitcher name. Well, no, I don't think he's going to do more than Dylan C. Scott, honestly. He's too old.
yeah, yeah. The thing is I think Cease is a little inflated, and I think Framber is a little underrated, and
Yeah.
so I think they're probably on the very same level. But I think Framber's going to get less, even though he deserves more. And I think Cease got more, even though he deserves less, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and Framber's
Yeah.
32 as well. I think Cease is 27, 28 years
Oh,
old.
okay. Then never mind. I
They're
guess
much
that's why you
younger.
paid more for Cease. Yeah.
Oh,
So
much
I
younger.
thought they were the same age for some reason. So
No, and then Valdez, there might still be blowback from that incident where he crossed up his catcher and threw one right in the gut.
that's old school baseball to me. I love that type of stuff. Bring him over to Seattle. We'll take his attitude problem and turn it around. He can pitch with La Piedra. They can be friends.
Well, I remember that trade deal we were talking about last week. It was Luis Castillo. That was the player that Red Sox were trying to get. That was the pitcher.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that one worked
And
out so well for us. I think what does he have, like 2 more years on his contract?
I've got to look. I think he's nearing the end of his deal, though.
Yeah, because he got a 5-year extension. He's been here for 3 of that 5 years, I think, or two. He has 3 or 2 years left, if memory serves correct.
Well, while I'm looking, we can talk about another player with the Mariners, Eugenio Suarez.
Get rid of him for as much as you can. Love you, boy.
Yeah, I don't think him signing with the Phillies is. I mean, him signing with the Mariners, excuse me,
Yeah.
is
Gino,
a
I love you. You've done a lot for this city. You've been really great. You've had some clutch hits, but not enough to merit keeping you. So
yeah.
your
No.
defense is slightly above average. I'll give you plus defense, but it is like minus on the offense.
So Castillo I think, has 2 more years in a vesting for the third year, and I've got a feeling the Mariners can do everything they can to make sure that he doesn't get that vesting third year in
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
And the number apparently, according to Spotrac, is 180 innings. So that's a pretty lofty number
yeah.
to hit.
Especially how old is he too? Because he's getting a little up there.
He would be 34 in the season that he has to do it. It's
Yeah,
based
so
on in
that's
2027.
okay. So maybe we should take. So he's gonna let's see. So he's gonna take this next year pretty conservatively. If I'm him, that's what I'm doing. So Mariners, we need to go all in everything in 2027 because we're gonna have Castillo pitching as hard as he can. in order to make that extra year, and then the rest of the pitching staff doing their thing.
I think even just a normal course of pitching, 180 innings is way more than they can weasel him out of a few starts early just to make sure he doesn't hit that margin. 180 is
Yeah,
a lot.
that's true.
Guys are
That's
rarely hitting 200 today, and 180 is a new 200 at this point.
yeah, and let's see. Yeah, no, I mean, especially so if you're only going 6 innings at a time, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
So
I'm not worried. They shouldn't be worried about getting locked up on that one.
yeah.
The next player is Luis Ariz. And I think there's a
Hmm.
decent chance he stays with the Padres now. I thought the Padres would go in on Okamoto, and he might still resign there at a lower value than he's
Yeah, he's a
gonna.
good first baseman too. So
Yeah,
I'm just glad we kept Josh Naylor. I think after watching him play first base for half of a year, I think he might be one of the most underrated first basemen in the league. So
yeah. I'm very curious to see if he continues to steal bases next season, or if that was kind of a one time thing. If they catch him making adjustments.
I hope that he plays mind games with everyone and like doesn't do it for the first half of the season, lulls everyone back to sleep again, and then starts stealing them again.
Hey man, steal them when they count.
Right. So I mean, and he did too. Those poor lefties when he was on second base, he would just sneak right behind them, wait for him to wind up and be halfway to third by the time the ball left their hands. So
The next player is Zach Gallen. And
this is an
he's coming
interesting
off of a
one.
down year, but he's was a pretty reliable pitcher for the previous 3, 4 years.
Yeah, so you got to think like, what was he playing injured or did he just not have it? Is he gonna get it back?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, and I think there's going to be a team out there that picks him up, but I think there are a lot of them are waiting on the top guys, the Suarez and um Valdez.
Yeah.
You got to think Baltimore is going to get one of those guys, right? Hopefully, if
Yeah, I
they
mean, I don't know. They hate pitching over there. I don't know what it is about them, but they don't like good starting pitching. So maybe if they were smart, they would.
what do you think about JT Realmuto? Because he's on this list too.
That's interesting because I know that the Rangers need a catcher to help out with Jonah Heim if he's even there anymore.
I think he's still there. I don't think
Yeah,
he's reached
because
free agency yet. I think he's still in arbitration.
he played not great after having a fantastic first year. So
Yeah, he hasn't really hit as well. Realmuto speaking, he hasn't really hit as well, but he is still one of the best at controlling the running game in
yeah,
baseball, and that's a very important thing with the steals
yeah,
right
and
now.
I don't think you can break up the band if you're Philly
Yeah,
just yet.
I
So
get the feeling Philly's probably gonna keep Realmuto. I just think he's gonna get less money than he on this new deal than he got on his previous one.
yeah, I think if
Where he was
he's
like the highest paid catcher in the game at the time when he signed it. He
yeah, I
signed a
think if he's
5 year, $115 million deal.
when how old is he now?
He is 35.
Yeah, so I think if he's smart, he'll take less, try to win a championship next year, and teach the guy behind him basically how to be one of the best in the league. So
And then the last two on the list, they'll kind of glob them together because they're very similar. Chris Bassett and Lucas Giolito.
oh, Bassey's on the list this year.
Yeah, Bassey's 37 and he was let go from the Blue Jays.
Oh, he was let go.
I mean,
Okay.
well, his contract ended. I don't think they're gonna bring
Okay.
him back.
Yeah.
I figured they replaced him with Cease, and they grabbed that other guy from I believe Korea. They grabbed that guy, Ponce.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess, and he was pretty up and down,
Yeah,
or
he
he's
was
always
good
been
in the
kind of up and
bullpen.
down. So
He was good in the bullpen,
yeah.
but he's probably gonna be like a mid rotation guy. He, of course, might be
Yeah.
he might be the kind of guy that the Orioles sign. Now that I think about it, because they're
Yeah, that would be great for them. So
yeah, he's a little baby, like 1 year, 20 something $1 million player. He's just the Orioles type.
yeah, exactly. We just
And then
one and done, and then we're on to the next person. So
Lucas Giolito, the full throttle signing from the Boston Red Sox. He famously had Tommy John surgery before pitching a single inning for the Red Sox, and then came back this past season, and then had elbow discomfort during during the postseason, so he didn't pitch there. And
oh
he
yeah,
still opted out, and he decided not to stay with the Red Sox. So I'm curious to see.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
I thought he had an $18 million player option. Thought he
Yeah,
could go
I
out
would
there.
have taken that if I was him, but maybe he
Yeah,
just hates being in Boston. So
I don't know.
I can't imagine why, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean they say it was discomfort, but he did throw 145 innings this past year, so coming off of Tommy John, so
Oh, okay.
I think maybe they were just making sure he didn't hurt himself. It might have just been a minor injury that he couldn't come back from in time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's not really
And
a
then you
lot.
also had Roman Anthony hurt, so it's like no reason in trying to injure yourself even more. So
Well, they had the two rookies playing in the wild card series along with Crochet. That there were a lot of
yeah,
guys that didn't get put on the early rounds. Like Clayton Kershaw wasn't a part of the first couple of rounds because they
yeah,
really
that's
didn't need him.
well, they really didn't need him in the. I mean, I guess they kind of actually did wind up needing him in a couple of those games against
Well, I mean, like
Toronto,
in the
but
first round, like the first wild card round, like 3 game
yeah.
series that they had to play, like they didn't need to because they had all their starters and they could just use their fourth or fifth starter to back up anybody if and or any issues going on.
Plus, Yamamoto's out there just tossing complete games, no big deal. So,
Yeah. So I've nearly killed the clock here, so we got like a minute left. Shane, do you have any fun facts? Or want to say that for next week?
oh no, I got one. The first and only total lunar eclipse in a World Series history coincided with the Red Sox winning Game 4 of the 2004 Fall Classic, ending their 86-year wait for a championship as Boston celebrated the moon above Busch Stadium in St. Louis was red, a rare cosmic nod to their storied forbearance.
Wow, that was pretty cool. We'll see you guys next week.
I know.